The price action with DOWGE is absolutely incredible at the moment. We've got so much to cover in today's video regarding DOWGE and some updates, where I think it's going short term, where I think it's going long term. We've got so much to cover about massive drops that we saw in DOWGE and what exactly happened with that whole crash, and the market in general just being a little bit shaky today. So let's cover it all right now. So in general, guys, lately we have seen a little bit of fear in the market, right? Our first kind of correction went since all this new retail attention has come in. So that's giving people their first experience at a little bit of a shakeout. This is very, very small though, but a lot of people are panicking about this. A lot of people have been messaging what's happening with DOWGE, and we're about to talk about that here in a second. So DOWGE has finally gone through what I would consider its first major drop, and we'll get into it in a second in detail. DOWGE is now currently 70 mil in market cap. We did see it top out here at around 86 million in market cap. However, what I want to do clarify, guys, is if you see this wick here, if you don't know what a wick is, it's essentially this big red candlestick at the bottom here, minus 56% from the top we have seen. So that sale that happened a couple of hours ago from when I'm recording this now, I managed to take a screenshot and capture exactly what happened. Basically, someone clipped over $200,000 in one transaction, $240,000, I believe it was. And there was another sale of about $148,000 or something along those lines. Here's a quick lesson in when you're selling projects that are at this market cap, guys. When you're understanding projects and the liquidity behind them, you can't just sell $200 and something thousand of your coin at once, right? I mean, you can, you're free to do that. But this is what happens to the graph. You end up selling a lot of your coins at this price here. Rather than slowly selling your position and getting pretty much your money's worth for the project, right? You end up selling a lot of the coin at these low prices, and people got some nice entry prices there. If you had a buy order set at this 38 million mark, geez, you would have been super, super happy, right? And I think some of those buy orders were triggered here because that was our key level that we were looking at in our Telegram, guys. I was like, look, I think DOWGE is going to touch this level of about 38-40 million. I have it there. I'll show you guys on screen now. Just quickly, guys, if you are interested in finding coins like this nice and early, this was mentioned in our Telegram group at around about 2 to 3 million in market cap. So you would have found it then and potentially had a really, really good position there. So a lot of these gems go around in the free Telegram group, guys. If that's something you're interested in and you want to find coins very similar to this, join that link in the link down below in the description. Now, granted, if you had a buy order set here at 38 to 40 million, you absolutely nailed it to a T. We were talking about this key support level that DOWGE did, and if it ever hit that level again, it was a great, great buy-in price. We were speaking about how potentially this 57 million mark, 55 million mark could be a good buy-in price as well for DOWGE. But realistically, we said we were looking for that 38 to 40 million mark, and we did end up touching that through a very, very short period in time, right? So some buy orders were triggered and it pretty much didn't stay there at all. So someone has sold a huge bag. And guys, here's a quick lesson for you. If you're somebody who ends up in a situation where you have a lot of money in a coin like this, do not ever sell the bag instantly like that. Not only do you screw over your own bags, you're getting a lot less bang for your buck, right? So you're getting a lot less money than you could potentially if you decided to sell it over a small amount of time. You're also kind of screwing the project over in a way and screwing with liquidity. So what I think's happened is the market has shown a little bit of small fear, like we were just speaking about. You know, everything's going down in the last hour or so. And I think one of the whales has completely panicked and gone, look, I'm taking this money before it crashes, before the market goes down again. I'm making sure I get my profit out, which is fair enough, right? But at the end of the day, I think they've screwed themselves out of a nice bag. So guys, I'm going to shamelessly bring up one of my posts I posted on X. If you want to follow me, the link is in the description down below as well, guys. I'm trying to be more active on X. You know, it's not really a popular social media here in Australia, but I'm getting on top of it. There's a reason why Solana is taking off when compared to other L1s, other layer ones. Murad's ideology on meme coins and communities is pretty much playing out perfectly. New retail investors care about brands, fun, community, and making money. Solana is essentially the vessel people are using to make this a reality. Not fake cabal control coins that come with the facade of being so utility based. People don't care. People want the power in their hands. This is why communities like DOWGE and AWR will prosper. So let me explain that, guys. Basically, what I'm saying is these are the types of communities that people really feel emotion towards. This is what people want. People don't care about these random L1s. Like, I'm not going to throw shade on random projects, so I'll keep names out of it. But you know what I'm talking about, guys. Those typical top 50, top 100 crypto coins with huge funding. They've got huge people involved in them already. Everyone's already got their bags loaded. You know, it's just cabal. People don't care about those types of projects. They want to be involved in communities like these. They're starting from the bottom, starting from scratch, completely organic growth, growing with people's emotions. So that's my take there on it, guys. That post was on X. We also have Superman or Suppoman, one of the crypto OGs, right? He did take a photo of this 150K sale on DOWGE, and he's like, this guy has a death wish. And he did have this screenshot here of the $244,000 sale as well, guys. So, you know, everyone was on top of this. It was absolutely insane to see. Suppoman is absolutely cementing himself in the crypto hall of fame with this DOWGE call at the moment. It has been one of the most phenomenal calls of this bull run. And it's interesting to see how this plays out, right? So it's looking like it's going to be the SPX 6900 killer, and we'll see what happens in the future, right? Anyway, that's the short-term price action for DOWGE. It has recently gotten smashed. But what I want to talk about is the future prospects, right? Because what's already happened isn't important whatsoever. We want to know where this is going, and essentially where we see this going very, very long term and somewhat in the short term, right? We want to see DOWGE uphold this trend, right? And I don't necessarily think this short-term price action is a terrible thing. I think if we build some stability around this 60 mil mark down here again, this short-term kind of drop that we're seeing at the moment, because the whole market is essentially in the red in the last couple of hours, right? So we did see crypto heat up a lot, a bit of retail entered. So this is our first taste of people taking profits because new money's come in. And I think people are just getting scared and panicking, right? So maybe that DOWGE whale was just someone who was inexperienced and just ended up selling a bit and taking a bit of a loss on the slippage. We did see this double bottom form on DOWGE. We forgot to speak about that last video, and that's why we did see that bullish momentum push up. We should have really nailed that trade as well. But when we're seeing this downwards momentum come with the market, like typically it happens when Bitcoin pushes down, we're going to see a lot of sell pressure. And I believe we're going to see these levels as resistance again, right, guys? So if we do see this 60 mil region kind of act as support again, I think we're going to have a great time with DOWGE. What we do definitely want to see is the market hold up to some regard, at least Bitcoin find some stability so we can hold this 60 million mark, because we do not really want to lose that. Otherwise, it's open air all the way down to that 38 mil mark again. But I think we're going to hold strong. There's so much volume coming in for this project, and I think exchanges are going to flock in sooner rather than later and try and get listed on their exchange. Obviously, what's in it for them is more volume to their exchange, more money to be made on fees. So obviously they want to scramble and get DOWGE on it. What I think is going to happen, especially if the market turns around right now, like say Bitcoin picks up again and we don't see that bearish momentum in Bitcoin, say we do see it push new all-time highs again, I think DOWGE is going to explode and explode quickly, because this has been the strongest cryptocurrency over the last couple of weeks, at least one that is notable, that is high in market cap. So I think we're going to use this area as a level of support, this 68 million mark. There's been a little bit of price action history here, not much to go off really, but we could use that level as support and run off to the races again. This is just making higher higher after higher high every time, right, guys? So this coin, absolutely unbelievable. The community supporting it, the price action to go along with it. We definitely want to see Bitcoin gain some stability again, because like I said, over the last hour, we've seen some crashing with Sol, with ETH. A lot of these altcoins have retraced, especially with the micro caps, guys. They have pulled back significantly. So AWR did copper hit recently as well. A few people in a lot of recent videos have mentioned to me Trash, so I will analyze this quickly. I think Trash is looking amazing. I don't know where this whole narrative essentially picked up from. It looks very strong in my opinion, guys. I guess it's kind of following that same narrative that Useless token had, right? So it's just kind of irony, and this is Trash. and you could say one day I became a millionaire off trash. That kind of narrative, right? So it's kind of ironic and a little bit funny. This is looking very strong actually, guys. I think this might be the next runner. So this is following a nice uptrend. The most I will say is you definitely don't want to lose this mark here at about 3.6 million. But regardless, guys, if the market comes crashing down, this will probably lose that level, but it won't matter too much, because when you find these runners that are very strong, they have community, they have heaps of volume coming in. 3.8 million in volume is a lot for a market cap this low. When you find these runners, they generally bounce back very, very strongly, even if the market sinks. But in general, if the market's holding up and we do lose that 3.6 million mark that I'm looking at here, so we did see, that area here and here. If we do lose those levels, then I'd be concerned about this coin. But if it's because Bitcoin went down and Solana went down, I wouldn't be too worried. If the market stays the same and we bounce off this level, I think Trash is going to have a similar graph to what we've seen with DOWGE. Obviously not to 80 million like DOWGE did. I think we're going to see a similar graph, and this could push. I'm going to say a target would definitely be around that 8 million mark, and that's where I'd start taking profit. So for anyone that's in Trash, that was my quick analysis of that, because I know a lot of people have been speaking about Trash in the comments down below. That's enough from me, guys. That's my analysis on DOWGE today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for all the support recently. I appreciate all the new likes, comments, and subscribers. And as always, join my free Telegram in the links down below. See you next time. Peace.